In the still hush before dawn on a cold February morning in 2026, Nancy Guthrie sat at her small wooden desk in the Catalina foothills of Tucson. The adobe home near Campbell Avenue and Skyline Drive had sheltered her for decades, holding memories of laughter, grief, and quiet endurance. At 84, her hands trembled slightly as she began writing a letter to her youngest daughter, Savannah Guthrie. It was not written in fear, nor as a farewell, but as an honest reflection of a life lived fully. She wanted to speak plainly about love, faith, mistakes, and resilience. The words came slowly, carefully chosen, as if she were placing fragile heirlooms into her daughter's hands. She wrote of strength and vulnerability, of carrying burdens silently, and of learning that even the strongest hearts sometimes need to rest. A life that drew national attention. Days later, Nancy's sudden disappearance shook her family and community. What began as concern quickly grew into a widespread search effort in Tucson. Local authorities, including the Pima County Sheriff's Department, worked tirelessly alongside volunteers. News of the situation reached a national audience because of Savannah's public role on Today. In an emotional message shared publicly, Savannah stood with her siblings, Annie and Cameron, asking for prayers and hope. Community members gathered in churches and neighborhood spaces, lighting candles and offering support. The focus remained on bringing Nancy home safely. Though details were handled with care and respect by investigators, the uncertainty weighed heavily on everyone who loved her. Each passing day felt longer than the last, especially given Nancy's fragile health and limited mobility. A community united in compassion. Tucson responded with remarkable compassion. Friends organized prayer circles, neighbors distributed flyers, and strangers reached out with words of encouragement. St. Philip's in the Hills, Episcopal Church became a gathering place for reflection and comfort. Nancy had long been known for her kindness and steady faith, and the community rallied in that same spirit. Savannah, accustomed to delivering the news, now found herself living a story no daughter wishes to tell. The public saw her composure, but beneath it was the same ache felt by countless families facing uncertainty. When authorities eventually confirmed that Nancy had passed away, grief swept through Tucson and beyond. While investigators handled the case with professionalism and discretion, the family chose to center their public words not on tragedy, but on Nancy's enduring legacy. Kentucky roots and early foundations. Nancy Ellen Long was born on January 27, 1942, in Fort Wright, Kentucky, during the uncertain years of World War II. Her childhood unfolded in a modest home filled with Midwestern values and Catholic tradition. Church bells marked Sundays, neighbors shared meals, and community ties ran deep. As the eldest child, Nancy learned early about responsibility and quiet leadership. She attended St. Agnes Elementary School, where disciplined teachers nurtured both faith and academic excellence. Later, she graduated from Notre Dame Academy in Park Hills, a school known for strong moral grounding and rigorous academics. Those formative years shaped her lifelong belief in education, service, and integrity. Even as a young girl, she showed a gift for storytelling, scribbling notes and observations with curiosity about the world around her. Discovering a love for journalism. In the early 1960s, Nancy enrolled at the University of Kentucky, drawn by a desire to study journalism. She believed words carried power, the power to inform, connect, and uplift. As a staff member of the university's student newspaper, the Kentucky Kernel, she served as society editor, covering campus life with empathy and thoughtful detail. Professors recognized her ability to find meaning in everyday events. College also brought unexpected joy. On a blind date, she met Charles Errol Guthrie, a thoughtful mining engineering student. Their first outing, a Wildcats basketball game, marked the beginning of a partnership built on shared faith and ambition. Nancy completed her degree at a time when many women were expected to set aside careers, quietly proving that education could strengthen both independence and family life, marriage, adventure, and motherhood. Nancy and Charles married on December 28, 1963, in a simple Kentucky ceremony surrounded by loved ones. Their marriage was rooted in respect and adaptability, qualities that served them well as Charles's engineering career led them across the United States and overseas. In 1971, while living in Melbourne, Australia, Nancy gave birth to Savannah Guthrie, completing a family that already included Annie and Cameron. 2 years later, they settled permanently in Tucson, Arizona. The desert landscape, with its vast skies and rugged mountains, became home. Nancy embraced motherhood fully, creating a household centered on faith, discipline, and laughter. She volunteered at schools, hosted gatherings, and nurtured her children's ambitions. Friends recall a woman who balanced organization with warmth, ensuring her home remained both structured and welcoming. Strength in the face of loss. In 1988, tragedy reshaped Nancy's world when Charles passed away unexpectedly at 49. Suddenly widowed at 46, she faced the daunting task of guiding 3 teenagers through grief while managing her own. Savannah later described that season as life-changing, the moment childhood ended abruptly. Nancy responded not with dramatic displays of sorrow, but with steady resolve. She returned to professional work in public relations at the University of Arizona, using her journalism background to support her family. The role also allowed her children educational opportunities she deeply valued. Colleagues admired her composure and empathy. Though she rarely spoke of her private grief, she modeled resilience daily. She demonstrated that courage often looks like showing up, even when the heart feels unbearably heavy. Faith, family, and quiet influence beyond her career, Nancy remained deeply engaged in church life and community service. She organized prayer groups, supported widows navigating their own losses, and mentored younger women seeking guidance. Faith was not a public performance for her, it was a steady anchor. As her children grew into adulthood, she celebrated their milestones with unwavering pride. Savannah's journey in journalism, eventually leading to a co-anchor role on Today in 2012, held special meaning. Nancy saw in her daughter the same love of words she once nurtured. She attended family celebrations, cherished her grandchildren Vale and Charlie, and found delight in simple gatherings around her dining table. Even as health challenges limited travel, she stayed closely connected through phone calls, letters, and heartfelt conversations. The vulnerability within the letter. In her final letter, Nancy revealed truths she had rarely spoken aloud. She admitted that strength sometimes masked fear, especially after Charles's passing. She worried privately about finances and whether she had been enough for her children. She acknowledged that endurance is not the same as healing. There were dreams she had set aside, not with bitterness, but with acceptance. Most tenderly, she expressed gratitude for the evolving friendship she shared with Savannah. Their bond had matured beyond mother and daughter into something deeply mutual. Nancy encouraged her to balance ambition with gentleness toward herself. She wrote that kindness outlasts applause and that integrity matters more than recognition. The letter was not dramatic, it was reflective, filled with humility and gratitude for a life that, though imperfect, had been meaningful. A legacy that lives on. Nancy's passing left an undeniable ache, yet her story endures in the people she shaped. Savannah honored her mother publicly with grace, speaking not only of sorrow but of gratitude. Tucson remembered Nancy as a steady presence, someone who lived faithfully without seeking attention. Her journey, from Kentucky's rolling hills to Arizona's desert sunsets, reflected devotion to family, community, and quiet perseverance. The letter she left behind became a gift, reminding loved ones that vulnerability can coexist with strength. Nancy wished to be remembered as fair, genuine, and faithful, and those who knew her believe she achieved exactly that. Her life stands as a testament that ordinary days, lived with intention and love, create an extraordinary legacy that continues long after farewell.